Ever heard about Virginia Hall, the woman who helped decode the Nazis' messages? In the midst of World War II, amidst the thunderous echoes of gunfire and the chilling silence of stealth, a figure emerged from the shadows. This figure was none other than Virginia Hall, a woman whose brilliance and bravery would forever alter the course of the war. Born into the quiet cityscape of Baltimore, Virginia's early life was seemingly ordinary. Yet beneath this veneer of normalcy, a spark of resilience was kindling. This spark, ignited by her passion for languages and her determination to make a difference, would soon set her on a path that few could dare to tread. As an operative for the British Special Operations Executive, Virginia used her linguistic prowess to decode the Nazis' encrypted messages, becoming a pivotal player in the fight against the dark forces that threatened to engulf the world. But what led this Baltimore native to become one of the most critical players in the war against the Nazis? Born in Baltimore, Maryland in 1906, Virginia Hall had a seemingly ordinary upbringing. The daughter of a wealthy family, Virginia was privileged with an excellent education. She attended Radcliffe College and Barnard College, where she studied French, Italian, and German, demonstrating an early passion for languages and international affairs. Virginia was also an adventurous spirit. She loved to travel and was known to be an avid hunter, horse rider, and skier. Her thirst for adventure led her on many travels across Europe, further fueling her interest in foreign affairs. Her dream was to join the Foreign Service, a dream that was fueled by her love for languages and her passion for international matters. However, her dream met an unexpected hurdle. While hunting in Turkey in 1933, she accidentally shot herself in the left foot. The incident led to gangrene setting in, and amputation of her left leg became inevitable. Yet Virginia didn't let this setback deter her. She named her wooden prosthetic leg Cuthbert and continued to pursue her dreams undeterred. She applied to the Foreign Service but was rejected due to her physical disability. Despite this disappointment, Virginia remained undeterred. She took a job as a clerk at the American Embassy in Poland, thus beginning her journey into the world of espionage and covert operations. She faced her challenges with an unwavering spirit, and her resilience would later become one of her most recognized traits. The accident that led to her disability was not an end, but rather a new beginning, a turning point that steered her life in a direction she never anticipated. Looking back, it seems that Virginia Hall was always destined for a life less ordinary. Her early life, filled with education, travel, and an unfortunate accident, was just the prelude to the remarkable story that was to unfold. Little did anyone know, this young woman would soon become a formidable enemy to the Nazis. With the onset of World War II, Virginia's life took a dramatic turn. As Europe was swallowed by the shadow of war, Virginia Hall found herself drawn into the clandestine world of espionage. She was recruited by the British Special Operations Executive, an organization established to conduct espionage, sabotage, and reconnaissance in occupied Europe. Little did she know, she was about to become one of the most successful spies in history. Virginia, an American woman with a noticeable limp due to a hunting accident, was an unlikely candidate for a spy. But her intelligence, courage, and tenacity made her an invaluable asset. She was sent to Vichy, France, a region under German control, with the mission to establish and manage resistance networks. Under the codename Marie, Virginia began her work in France. She set up safe houses, arranged for parachute drops of weapons and supplies, and coordinated sabotage operations against the Nazis. She was a master of disguises, changing her appearance frequently to avoid detection. She was known to have disguised herself as a milkmaid, a peasant woman, and even an elderly lady, all while conducting high-level espionage, but it was her work in decoding Nazi messages that truly set her apart. Virginia had a knack for codes and ciphers, and her work helped the Allies understand and anticipate Nazi plans and movements. She was so effective that the Gestapo, the Nazi secret police, dubbed her the most dangerous of all Allied spies. They did not know her real name or what she looked like, but they knew of her limp, and thus she earned the nickname, the Limping Lady. Despite the constant threat of capture, Virginia never wavered. She was once quoted as saying, "I thought I could help, and I wanted to do my part." And do her part she did. Her networks were instrumental in the success of the D-Day invasion, one of the most significant turning points in World War II. As the war raged on, Virginia continued her work, always one step ahead of her Nazi pursuers. She evaded capture multiple times, even crossing the Pyrenees Mountains on foot while being chased by the Gestapo. Her determination, courage, and intellect were a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. Virginia's work during the war was nothing short of extraordinary. She was a woman operating in a man's world, a disabled individual performing feats that would be challenging for anyone, a spy who managed to elude one of the most ruthless secret police forces in history. She was a constant thorn in the side of the Nazis, disrupting their operations and helping to turn the tide of the war in favor of the Allies. Her courage and intelligence made her a nightmare for the Nazi regime, earning her the nickname the Limping Lady. Virginia Hall was not just a spy, she was a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope, and a true war hero. As the war came to an end, so did Virginia's life of espionage, or so it seemed. The curtain of conflict may have fallen, but for Virginia Hall, a new act was just beginning. In the wake of World War II, a new organization was formed on American soil, the Central Intelligence Agency, or as we know it, the CIA. It was a natural progression for Virginia to lend her skills and experience to this budding institution. Her war years had honed her abilities, and she was a valuable asset to the agency. She continued her work in the shadows, serving her country in a different capacity. Even the most dedicated of spies must retire eventually. After years of service, Virginia decided to swap her life of intrigue for a more tranquil existence. She settled in rural Maryland, where she found solace in the simplicity of country life. The rolling hills and quiet streams were a far cry from the war-torn landscapes she had navigated. Virginia's personal life also saw changes. She married a fellow agent, Paul Guillot, in 1950. The two had worked side by side during the war, and their shared experiences had forged a bond that only strengthened with time. They were partners in every sense of the word, navigating life's challenges together. One particular decision they made was not to have children. While the reasons behind this choice remain personal, it is clear that Virginia's life was filled with purpose and meaning. She dedicated herself to her husband, her home, and to the memory of those she served with. Her post-war life was a stark contrast to the tumultuous years of conflict. Yet even in the tranquility of her later years, the spark of the fearless resistance leader never quite dimmed. She remained a woman of strength, resilience, and unwavering courage. Even in her quiet life after the war, Virginia Hall remained a hero, her story inspiring many. Virginia Hall left behind a legacy that stands tall in the annals of history. Her contributions to the Allied victory during World War II were so profound that they continue to reverberate even now, years after the last echoes of gunfire fell silent. In recognition of her heroic efforts, Virginia was posthumously awarded the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, or MBE, a prestigious honor bestowed upon individuals who have made significant contributions to the nation. But Britain wasn't the only country to acknowledge her valor. Across the pond, the United States also honored Virginia with the Distinguished Service Cross, one of the highest military decorations that can be awarded to a person serving in the armed forces. It is testament to her exceptional courage, her unwavering commitment, and her remarkable contribution to the war effort. But Virginia's legacy extends beyond the medals and accolades. She made history as a woman in the field of espionage, a profession dominated by men. Her sheer determination and strategic brilliance broke down barriers, paving the way for future generations of women to step into roles previously deemed off-limits. Virginia Hall, in essence, redefined the boundaries of what was perceived as possible. Her story continues to inspire. It serves as a powerful reminder that courage and resilience can overcome even the most daunting of adversities. It is a story of a woman who, despite losing a leg, did not lose her spirit, who, despite being in the midst of a war, did not lose her resolve. It is a story of a woman who, despite being under constant threat, did not lose her courage. Virginia Hall, the Limping Lady, the woman who outsmarted the Nazis, remains a beacon of courage and resilience, her story echoing through the corridors of time.